Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. What you're looking at here is the AufKlarungsPanzer. Now this is a surprisingly effective and also rather underrated tank. Great mobility, good armor, good gun. It fits a certain style of play, and if you can play in that manner, you're going to be quite successful in this tank. So this is part of a two-part series. This is the first one. In this one, we're going to do the loadout and show you the game action of this tank. The second one, I have for you what is basically a legendary performance. So these two are going to be quite awesome. So make sure you see the second one as well. And it would be really helpful if you could leave a like for this video. That would help spread the word of my videos to other viewers on YouTube who may not be seeing them at this current time. So now that we've got that done, let's get on with the show. One AufKlarungsPanzer. So let's go here. What do we have for this gun? .29 with a commander. That's awesome. That means it really doesn't need any more aim assist, but we'll probably get some. First thing I always do is get rid of this stupid enhanced targeting. It's worthless. It does nothing for you. We'll replace that with advanced optics, thank you. We're also going to get an advanced loader right out of the get-go. Reload on this dude. 2.61 is just outstanding. Man. We don't need better aim, and we don't need faster reload. The reload is outstanding. We can go for absolute speed. So I'm going for absolute speed. Alright, speed here 69. Yes. Alright, we could go for a little bit more speed actually. Now, this is a frontline guy, so we need gold repair. That's just the rule. We need enhanced rations. Now, this will give us an extended vision. It'll also give us more accuracy and slightly lower time on the reload. So let's look at that. Reload. Whoops. There we go. Alright, actually, that doesn't really matter. I just don't like it there. I like it there. That means I like this here. Alright. So now, we've got the gun down to .28 due to the enhanced rations. We have the reload. 2.48, fantastic. Our vision is now 512. Notice this commander has binoculars, so this is the maximum vision that this dude could have without adding a fan. That's the only thing we can add is a fan, so it would be slightly longer, but 512 is outstanding. So I can see why he's pretty happy with this dude. Alright, now let's go get some camouflage, shall we? We're going to do some basic stuff here. I'll go with this. Just some basic 7-day rental. I'll go with this. It's all good. Just some basic camos. This is a good desert camo. What about urban? This is a good urban camo as well. I have a voucher. Okay, that's news to me, but whatever. So, yeah, I'm good with that. Leave it all alone. Alrighty, let's go. Telling you, yeah, I knew he had this guy. Got my Warhammer commander. So we are ready to rock, which is fantastic. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to go give this guy a trial and see if I can get a good game to show you. And I shall report back to you in many minutes. But for you, it'll seem like only seconds. I'm back. So, the good news is that Brownie wasn't wrong. I played 2 matches, and the first one was kind of mediocre, but I don't know. We won the match, but the way it worked and the whole thing, maybe it was me, maybe it was something else. I don't know. I thought, well, Brownie had such a good result. I couldn't believe that the, performance of this tank on the airfield, was conclusive. So I decided, no, I need to go do this again and make sure that I don't jump to a conclusion. Which was the correct decision, by the way. Because I didn't think that, it was a fair example of how it would work. Because I've been in matches with this tank and he's done really well with it. So I played another match. That match was on the steppes. And that was far superior. It played the way that Brownie described that it would play. The general behavior of this is it's real solid. It's not super awesome. So if you're expecting it to be super awesome, you'll be disappointed. I'm used to being super awesome in a light tank, so I was slightly disappointed maybe in the first game, and maybe I was just playing it wrong for the type of tank that it was, which would explain why I had kind of an result. So I didn't think it was super awesome, and so I played with a slightly different style, and it worked pretty darn well, I have to say. Like I said, it's a very solid tank. The best thing I thought about it is that with the speed that it has, it's not blazing speed, 72 max with gasoline, horsepower, and tracks. That's the fastest it can go. But at 72, it's actually very good as a roving defender. And the roving defender class, for lack of a better word, is one where speed isn't the ultimate. You need to be able to get to where you're going at a reasonable speed, and 72 is certainly reasonable. And you have to have a good gun. It has a good gun. I use premium bullets. I'm not goofing around. I don't need bouncy shots. I'm not here for bouncing drama. When I pull the trigger and hit a guy, he needs to die. Just that simple. I'm not goofing around with that other garbage. So I went full premium, and it cost a fortune to load it up, but that's okay. I have Cold War to solve that problem, and I don't have a problem with the silver. So let's go look at this dude and see. Added the gas, extra turret rotation as well. 81 premiums. So make sure you, of course, you always put that on silver. But these premiums have a 221 penetration. Worked pretty darn good. You'll see for yourself. So that was fantastic. And this is the year sticker. I don't want that. Oh, sorry. There we go. Gone. Perfect. Now, that's the camo that I put on there. So we're going to go back out there. Well, not out there. I'm going to show you by a replay what happened, and it was really good. So this, I think, will be really a good example of how this tank plays. Welcome to the steppes. Okie dokie. That desert camo looks very nice, which is always a bonus. It's a really good looking tank. You look at it, it's clearly a Panther. And I've always liked the Panther in general, so thumbs up there. There's only one light tank on each side. There's a setter on their side and a Panther over here. Now the handling on this tank is a little stiffer than a lot of other light tanks. So I'm just going to give you a heads up on that. It's not terrible, but it's just a little stiffer. More resistance in the turnings, so it was a little odd to get used to that, but not bad. I mean, I have better light tanks than this one at different tiers. So from tier 7, yeah, it's real good. You can't go wrong if that's what you're looking for. It also has good armor, which is one of the key things, that the armor of this, as Brownie said, is better than a regular light tank. It's more like almost like a medium tank. Kind of like if you've ever played the Russian A-32, which is a medium tank with speed that's really, you would just think of it as a light tank with extra armor. This is a setter. I thought for sure I was going to get this guy, and then, oh man, boom, he's dead. Well, you know, a guy can dream, can't he? So at this point, I know I'm the top dog. I'm the only light tank left. You know, on both sides. Yeah, I'm not that brave. I really don't have experience in this tank, so I don't want to press my luck, as they say, going crazy. So this is a really good map to test this tank out on because it's wide open, a lot of driving opportunities. That's a medium. What is he? Didn't see him. Right now I'm just generally wandering around, don't have a specific target. That guy just whacked a doodle. So I figured I'd come down here and see if I could assist, because there's a lot of undulating terrain and that gives me some ducking room and opportunities to escape fire. Track damage, you freak. But again, I'm still new to this tank, so I don't want to try and push, press my luck. But I was gaining confidence in this tank because it handles pretty well. Some tanks, like the American Bulldog Tier 8, is too wiggly. So I'd prefer a tank not to be wiggly, and this one is not a wiggly tank, if that helps you. So, like I said, I got this tank for free experience. I can't complain. It's real solid. You know, one of the main attributes of this tank is that it doesn't play tier 10s. So, now this circling part is okay, but I don't have as tight a turning radius as I'd like my Vanguard or my T41E1. Those are tier 8s. They got terrific turning radius. This one's not as good, but it's good. It was solid. I mean, I had that guy 6 ways to Sunday. Just like I got this dude. So long, chump. I just annihilate this guy so bad, it's not even funny. Now the kill is stolen by somebody else. But that's okay, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I crushed that guy. And there's no question about who did the crushing. It was me in this tank. So it was a good test. And that tank passed the test. Solid, man. Real solid. I never saw any of these tanks out there, but I wasn't looking. All right. So as you can see, 2 kills, beat the heck out of another one, or someone else stole the kill, but that's fine. Doesn't matter to me. 865 damage, real solid. Over 1,000 assistance, always fantastic. So, you know, those are good numbers. Real solid numbers. I don't feel it was a great, performance by me, but I think it's really a solid tank. And like I said, I would prefer this to run it as a roving defender more so than a frontline advanced scout. But it's good. And if you're looking down the road to pick up this tank, I think it's a solid pickup. You know, if you need a tier 7 light tank for whatever reason. I didn't have one, that was better. I mean, I like the armor, which is a bonus. Spotter medal for over 1,000 spotting. Solid 4th place. I mean, that's one of those things. You get 4th place, something's good. Okay? So that's fantastic. Now let's go look at the armor. Because that's one of the things that Brownie was talking about, that the armor was good. That front armor is pretty good. 85 millimeters with angle. Not bad. That is not bad. It worked for me. So I can't complain. Like I said, when it was evaluated properly, taking into account the handling and the speed that it has, it's real solid. Brownie likes it more than I like it. But I could use this without any, hesitation, because it was very solid. And that frontal armor is pretty darn good, so you could do some business with that guy. So it's one of those things, like I said, if you have the opportunity to get a bargain deal on it, it's worth it for a bargain price, which is what I got it for. Was about 130,000 free experience. I consider that to be a bargain price, and so satisfactory for sure. I mean, it's not awesome. Okay, I'm not saying it's awesome, but it's also better, at least average, depending on what you think, and maybe better than average. I mean, this thing was real solid. You saw it yourself. Objectively, I would prefer to have a little better control as far as being a little less stiff. It might be a nitpicker's thing. The gun was very accurate, didn't have a complaint. The premium rounds went through those guys like no problem, which is a huge problem if it's not doing it. So, you know, I wouldn't say that it was outstanding in any one area, but it was like above average in every area. So that's the thing. Usually you have a tank like this and it's going to have one thing that just really stands out. The gun is going to be good, or the speed is good, or the armor is strong. You know, super rotate, whatever it is. There's usually something that's really outstanding. And this one was just, above average in every category, which is kind of good. I mean, like I said, I didn't have any trouble shooting those guys at all. Every guy I shot, the shot went through. I didn't bounce a single shot on that, which is in itself kind of good. So it's one of those things. It kind of sneaks up on you that, the more you think about it, it didn't have any problems overall. And the fact that you don't have a problem with it is in itself kind of excellent. So it's one of those things. You got to think about it and then really go back and look at it. So again, those who are considering getting this tank are probably going to be good with it. If you're not considering getting this AufKlarungsPanzer, then it doesn't really matter. But this tank worked pretty darn well. I've seen Brownie use it a bunch of games, so I know it was good in the right hands. I feel I could do even better than what I did, which is, I guess, in itself good. I mean, I was real solid, but I didn't take a lot of risks. I played it very, solidly rather than risky, because I was the only light tank. And if I go down, we won't have a light tank, and that could prove fatal depending on the situation. It certainly didn't help the enemy that they lost their light tank early, and they had no way to get, help in any regard from side to side of the map. So I'd have to say this tank was really good. It was surprisingly good. My biggest negative about it is it's a little stiff on the turning, but to some people they prefer it to be slightly stiffer than loose, and I am one of those as well. So it's not ideal for me. It's a little stiffer than I would personally like, but was it a problem? No, I didn't have a problem. I didn't. Its radius of turning is not as tight as I'd like, but it could be overdone, and then it would be worthless to me. So it's not perfect for me, but is it very good? Yes, it was very good. So it's not a negative, but I'm just trying to give you a perspective that if you like it to be extra wiggly, this is not for you. If you hate wiggly like I hate it, I hate wiggly controls, man. So I'm good with it, no problem. But just want to be as honest as possible so you get a good feel for what it does or doesn't do. I mean, I couldn't complain really about anything. Nothing weird happened. And that's also good. So it's one of those things that you just keep thinking about. It's like, damn, well, you kind of back yourself into that, hey, I'm in a B plus kind of zone over here. And that's what I would say. This is probably a B plus tank. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, because I have some A's and A plus light tanks, and they're way better than this. Now they're different tiers also. So in tier 7, can you use this to help win matches like I did? Absolutely. Brownie did it. I did it right here, just in one match that you saw. I'm sure, like I said, I could do better. I could do a lot worse, obviously, but doing worse is easy. Doing better is not easy, but that thing, gives me confidence that I can say that. So, thumbs up on this dude. If you can get a good deal on this tank and you're looking for one like this, great. Now, objectively speaking, this is the thing. I would personally not really use this very often because I really do well in my AMX 1357. So that tank fits me like a glove. So it's not anything negative about this one. I just have one in tier 7 that I like better. But if I figure I want to play something that's a little heavier duty, this is heavier duty for sure than the 1357. So that's basically the thing. Thumbs up on this dude. Hopefully I've given you enough references to allow you to make a better evaluation with what you've seen in the footage. So that'll be the end of this dude. Please leave a like for this video. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Tell your friends so they have a chance to like and maybe subscribe as well. Thanks for watching. I hope this worked out great for you, and I will see you guys in the next one.